guys, what's going on? It's MassiveJoes RAW review, and I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com. Awesome raw review for the viewers at home today on an all-new BCAA plus EAA supplement from our good friends at Ryse. It is, of course, Ryse BCAA in the house. Let's get straight into it, show you guys exactly what's in it, tell you exactly what it's gonna do. Big tub, small nutritional information panel that sure as hell ain't gonna get it done. We're about to go balls deep in this here Ryse BCAA plus EAA, which I will now refer to throughout the rest of this review as Ryse BCAA because it's too f***ing long. Luckily, got ourselves a big ass nutritional information panel for the viewers at home. Dilip, go ahead and cut that panel up on the screen for the viewers so that they can play along at home. Starting from the top, serving size 10.2 grams. Got yourself about 30 of them, one scoop, 10.2 gram bitches. In one of these Ryse BCAA bitches. In terms of what the 10.2 grams is made up of, Ryse, as they do with all of their supplements, have provided full disclosure on their nutritional information panel, so we can quickly do a quick sum. Add up all of the 10 active ingredients and quickly discover there is 6.53 grams of actives in a 10.2 gram scoop, giving us 64% active ingredients by weight, 36% flavors and sweeteners, no artificial colors or dyes used in this Ryse BCAA whatsoever. So it definitely is towards the higher end of what we like to see with amino acid supplements, 36%. Man, like we usually, around 20 is kind of like what we like seeing. Less than 20 is amazing. A little bit more than 20 is acceptable. 36% is very, very high. And we'll see how that plays out throughout this raw review when we get to how it tastes, how it mixes. But for now, we about to go balls deep. Starting from the top, got yourself some sodium, 80 milligrams of sodium. Sodium is, of course, an electrolyte. Electrolytes are charged particles that carry electric currents across cells. Your sodium concentration is higher outside your cells than inside. And these electrolytes control membrane potential, which helps control muscle contractions, transmission of nerve impulses, and help maintain your heartbeat. Ideally, you want to consume about 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day. You've got 80 milligrams in this Ryse BCAA, but of course, in that 1,500 milligrams, you have to take into account all your other sources of sodium, including all your other foods and drinks and everything else you consume. So it's always a little tricky for me to comment on like the dose of sodium used in any type of supplement because there's so many sources of sodium that we consume. Moving right along, we then get into our BCAAs, a 2:1:1 ratio of leucine to isoleucine to valine, and 5 total grams or 5,000 milligrams. Viewers at home who are unaware, BCAAs prevent the breakdown of muscle tissue during your workouts. They reduce delayed onset muscle soreness, assist with muscle recovery, and leucine in particular increases muscle protein synthesis. The clinical dose of BCAAs is 5 to 10 grams. We have 5 grams, so we would go so far as to say it's clinically dosed. Moving right along, we then get into this unique ingredient, Cocoganic. Organic coconut water powder, the trademark registered version of organic coconut water powder. It's actually certified organic coconut water powder. This Cocoganic contains electrolytes and minerals, but we really can't comment because although it is a registered trademark version of organic coconut water powder, it's still not standardized. So we don't know what the standardization of electrolytes, what minerals, and how much of these electrolytes and minerals is in this 500 milligrams of the Cocoganic. So we really can't comment any further other than to say that there's 500 milligrams of certified organic coconut water per scoop. Moving right along, we then get into the EAA side of this Ryse BCAA plus EAA. Now I'm just gonna take a second here, viewers at home. because I need to just tell you a little bit about essential amino acids and a little bit about how difficult this next part of this raw review is for me to give you what I usually give you in raw reviews. So essential amino acids, for those of you who are unaware, are proteins. Amino acids are proteins. Essential amino acids are proteins that we have to consume through either a whole food source or a supplementary source or some other source of consumption. Our bodies cannot produce essential amino acids internally or endogenously. Can't do it. Have to consume them from whole food source or supplementary source. The thing with essential amino acids is we consume them in a whole bunch of different foods that we consume in whole food sources throughout the day. So we're getting a lot of essential amino acids and non-essential and conditionally essential. We're getting a lot of amino acids through whole food sources throughout the day. As I go through these essential amino acids and I discuss the dosages with you guys, I'm always going to say that this is what we're getting from a scoop of this Ryse BCAA plus EAA, but you have to consider all your other dietary sources of these essential amino acids as well. So I just want to make that clear right from the start. Now we can continue to go balls deep. Starting with L-Lysine Hydrochloride in a 250 milligram dose. L-Lysine Hydrochloride is an essential amino acid. Our main dietary source of lysine is actually green leafy vegetables, believe it or not. Lysine is used to prevent and treat cold sores, as a matter of fact, and the herpes virus as a whole. Has the potential to improve athletic performance, but it's kind of like, let's just go with potential. Your daily dose of lysine is about 1 gram per day, but that does include all your other dietary sources. So we can't really say whether 250 milligrams is a good dose, bad dose, or indifferent. Moving right along, we then get into let's go with L-Phenylalanine in a 250 milligram dose, also an essential amino acids. Our main dietary sources of L-Phenylalanine are meat, fish, eggs, cheese, milk, and soybeans. L-phenylalanine is a precursor to L-tyrosine, and L-tyrosine is a precursor to L-dopa. And L-dopa is a precursor to the neurotransmitters dopamine, adrenaline, and noradrenaline. Our daily dose of phenylalanine is 33 milligrams per kilogram of body weight per day. But once again, it includes all of our other dietary sources, so it's very difficult for me to comment on, once again, if it's clinical dose, efficacious dose, or indifferent. Moving right along, we then get into L-threonine, also in a 250 milligram dose, also an essential amino acid. Main dietary sources of threonine are meat, dairy, and a number of different vegetables. L-threonine is used to create glycine and serine, which are necessary for the production of collagen, elastin, and muscle tissue, as are all amino acids. Aids in the production of antibodies used to strengthen our immune system as well, so a great essential amino acid for boosting immune system function. Our daily dose of threonine is 100 right up to 500 milligrams per day, once again including all of our other dietary sources of threonine, the meat, dairy, and a bunch of whole different vegetables, so difficult to comment on the dosage in this Ryse BCAA plus EAA. Moving right along, we then get into L-Tryptophan in a 125 milligram dose, another essential amino acid whose main dietary sources are eggs, fish, soybeans, once again, spirulina, and dairy. L-Tryptophan is a precursor to 5-HTP or 5-hydroxytryptophan, which is a precursor to the neurotransmitter serotonin and to the neurohormone melatonin. Viewers at home who are unaware, serotonin helps elevate mood and regulate mood and feeling of well-being, while melatonin helps us sleep. The daily dose of tryptophan is 5 milligrams per kilogram of body weight per day, including all of your dietary sources. So once again, very difficult for us to comment on the dose in this Ryse BCAA plus EAA. L-histidine, our final ingredient, our 10th and final ingredient, L-histidine hydrochloride in a 75 milligram dose. Now this is a conditionally essential amino acid, so for most adults it's not actually an EAA at all because our body is able to synthesize and produce enough of it endogenously with the use of other amino acids. But for children and elderly people, it is actually an essential amino acid. So that's why we call it conditionally essential amino acid, viewers at home. Main dietary sources of histidine are meat, poultry, fish, dairy, rice, wheat, and rye. And histidine, no surprises here, is a precursor to histamines, which help control allergic reactions, control and regulate our allergic reactions, hence histamines and antihistamines that you guys have probably heard of before. Histidine is also a building block for hemoglobin, which is responsible for transporting oxygen within red blood cells, so very important through our cardiovascular system. The daily dose of histidine is 14 milligrams per kilogram per day, including all of our dietary sources. Once again, very difficult for me to comment on the dosage in this Ryse BCAA, and because most of us who are watching this are healthy adults, we're not children and we're not the elderly, we really don't need to be supplementing with it because our body can produce histidine by itself. Got yourself your artificial flavors, sweeteners, no artificial colors or dyes. And that's what's in it. So a very simple supplement. We're dealing with BCAAs, EAAs, and coconut water powder, and a little sprinkle of sodium on top. That's pretty much it. If we want to drill down from an intra-workout perspective, and I'm not saying that this is an intra-workout supplement because Ryse don't market it that way at all, but let's just for argument's sake drill down from an intra-workout perspective. If we're looking at things that it's missing, obviously something for muscle pump and nutrient delivery. There's no citrulline, citrulline malate, agmatine or anything like that in there. Something more for endurance that works in combination with the BCAAs to promote muscular endurance. Something like beta-alanine or taurine or creatine or low phosphate is missing as well. And then standardized dose of electrolytes or something else to promote hydration like glycerol or glycopump or Hydromax glycerol or anything to promote hyperhydration of muscle cells. It's missing that as well. But apart from that, from a very simple, basic amino acid supplement perspective, it's got your full dose of 2-on-1 scientifically proven ratio BCAAs. It's got a big dose of essential amino acids, which in my personal opinion, kind of take it or leave it with EAAs. Unless you're significantly deficient in a particular EAA, most of us are going to be getting EAAs from the foods that we consume if we're consuming enough dietary protein or whey protein anyway, and then a little sprinkle of sodium on top. In terms of how it tastes, how it mixes, comes in two flavors. Comes in, zoom and focus action, cherry limeade. Comes in, zoom and focus, tropical snow cone. Those are the two flavors at the moment that Ryse has launched this all new BCAA supplement in. I have both flavors here. I am currently using the tropical snow cone flavor. As you guys can see, the tub is open. So you know what? I'm gonna go. I've tried them both, but I'm gonna bust open a brand new tub of this cherry limeade for you guys here on camera, just so I can bro punch this bitch in. Grab the scoop. And we've got the infamous MassiveJoes taste and mixability test about to go down. Viewers at home, I'm going to mix this up to, as the suggested usage, mix one serving in 8 to 10 ounces of cold water in a shaker or glass. I have a TMJ Elite shaker with exactly 10 ounces of cold water in my hot little hand. I'm going to take one scooping of this Ryse BCAA in the cherry limeade flavor. Throw this bitch in this bitch. Let me chuck the lid on real quick. Give you guys a few flicks of the wrist. I'm gonna refresh my memory. Show you how it mixes first and foremost. And then refresh my memory on how this cherry limeade Ryse BCAA tastes. Man. That's enough. Got our double wall glass up in this motherfucker. And boom. Some zoom and focus action on this one as well. As you guys can see, pretty damn well mixed. You do have some floaters on top. I did actually off camera try and mix it in a glass just with water and a spoon, and there was a significant amount of floaters on top. So, I mean, worst case scenario, you could mix it in a glass with a spoon, but let's be honest, most of us are using a shaker anyway. So I would go so far as to say blender bowl is required for this here Ryse BCAA. Let me refresh my memory on how this cherry limeade tastes, man. Man, Ryse have done good things with this BCAA. They have done some really good things with this BCAA. Both flavors are spot on the money. Really, really pleasant to drink. Really, really nice flavors. Not too strong, not too sweet. The cherry limeade is not too cherry. The tropical snow cone is a very balanced flavor. I mean, the flavors are really, really good. The one thing that I will say is I personally like sweet amino acid supplements. I'm a big fan of sweet. For some of you, I know that you're kind of not as big a fan of sweetness as I am, in which case I would recommend diluting it a little bit more. So instead of going 1 scoop in 10 ounces or 300 mils of water, maybe go 1 scoop in like 500 mils of water. So use like 50% or so more water than what Ryse have suggested, just to dilute that flavor down a little bit. But the flavors are both amazing. I really can't split them. I enjoy both of them pretty much like equally as much as each other. You know, I'll go through a tub of tropical snow cone and then I'll decide I want to change and do cherry limeade, and then I'll come back to tropical snow cone and back to cherry limeade, and they're equally as enjoyable as each other. So I can't split the two. In terms of the effects, because that's what you're taking the ship for. And really, this is where I need to kind of say that Ryse are not really marketing this as an intra-workout supplement as such. Obviously, it's a BCAA sup. You can take it intra-workout. But if you actually read the label and you read the marketing, it's really designed more to be a during the day amino acid supplement. And for that purpose, it ticks all the boxes that you kind of want for during the day aminos. It's got big dose of scientifically proven 2:1 ratio BCAAs. It's then got EAAs on top of that. It's really easy to drink. It mixes well. It's good value for money. So it kind of ticks all those boxes. I have trained on it as well because I did want to see how it stacked up as an intra-workout supplement. And to be honest with you guys, no surprises here. It does kind of fall down in the categories of nutrient delivery, muscle pumps, muscular endurance, and those sorts of ingredients that it's missing that we went through when we broke down the ingredients in the supplement and the ingredients that it's missing on paper. But, you know, so far as a during the day amino acid supplement, very, very easy to drink. Ticks all the boxes and just a very enjoyable BCAA and full amino acid spectrum supplement, especially for those of you who are interested in dabbling with essential amino acid supplementation in combination with BCAAs. In terms of side effects, none. There's nothing in there. There's no agmatine like that's going to upset your stomach if you have too much of it. No beta-alanine that's going to give you the tingles. Nothing like that you need to be aware of. And because of that as well, when we look at stackability, it stacks with everything, like everything. You don't have to worry about too much agmatine or too much beta-alanine or too much citrulline or too much of anything, because it's so basic, because it's so foundational. You know, it really does stack with everything. The final thing I will say, and I've touched on it already, is in terms of price and value to money in the Australian marketplace, you're looking at your 30-serve tub for $59.95. So it hits the value for money for a basic BCAA plus EAA supplement pretty much straight between the eyes, really where it needs to be. It's not great value for money. It's not expensive. It's kind of like where it needs to be in terms of value for money. Guys, if you're in the market for a very foundational, fundamental BCAA plus EAA supplement that tastes amazing is good value for money, and it's just gonna make you happy. You're just happy when you're sipping on the Ryse, man. It does what it needs to do. You know what? It's like your favorite pet, really. Does what it needs to do, doesn't complain, gets shit done, and just makes you generally happy. You have to get yourself a tub of this Ryse BCAA plus EAA. Guys, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Turn your post notifications on, both on your mobile, your cell phone, and your desktop PC, so you don't miss a beat when it comes to the MassiveJoes YouTube channel. And guys, that is MassiveJoes RAW review on the all-new Ryse BCAA plus EAA in the house. And I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com. Stay